Here is more proof that the U.S. war agenda against Syria is not really about a supposed concern about chemical weapons. Listen to what Kerry says when asked, is there anything the Syrian president could do or offer to stop a U.S. attack on his country?
Is there anything at this point that his government could do or offer that would stop an attack?
Sure. He could turn over every single bit of his chemical weapons to the international community in the next week. Turn it over, all of it, without delay, and allow a full and total accounting for that. But he isn't about to do it, and it can't be done, obviously.
Well, it could be done. Look at this. Responding to Kerry, Russia urges Syria to cede arsenal. Secretary of State John Kerry said on Monday that if President Bashar al-Assad wants to avert an attack on Syria, he should hand over all of his chemical weapons within 1 week. Russia, the Syrian government's most important backer, quickly welcomed the idea. And look at this. Syria welcomes Russian proposal to put chemical weapons under international control. Syria welcomes a Russian proposal to place the nation's chemical weapons under international control. Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Muallem said on Monday after talks in Moscow, praising the Kremlin for seeking to prevent American aggression. But as I've been pointing out, this really isn't about a supposed concern about chemical weapons. The U.S. is already trying to prevent a peaceful settlement. Secretary Kerry was making a rhetorical argument about the impossibility and unlikelihood of Assad turning over chemical weapons he has denied he has used, a U.S. State Department spokeswoman said in an emailed statement. Do you see that? U.S. officials are already trying to undermine a peaceful proposal. See my other videos about how U.S. officials continually lie in order to march us into war after war. The powers that be who dictate U.S. foreign policy want another war. Remember, as I pointed out in a previous video, Saddam tried to avoid getting attacked by the U.S. when he allowed UN inspectors into his country. But President Bush simply lied when he falsely claimed Saddam didn't even allow the inspectors in, and so he had to attack Iraq. The war-hungry mass media played along with Bush's lie by not reporting that what President Bush claimed is false. This is the same kind of dishonesty about UN inspectors before the Iraq War. Remember, George W. Bush claimed Saddam didn't even let the inspectors in.
The first inspections began on November 27th.
President Bush is just flat out lying about the reality of what happened right before the Iraq War.
Which was strange because I made it clear that let the inspectors in or else we'll remove you from power. And he didn't believe me, sadly.
He repeated that lie several times and major media allowed him to get away with it. And now we see the same kind of game of lying about the UN inspectors from Obama and Kerry. See my other videos about the dramatic pattern of deception in order to manufacture a pretext to get us into these wars. And see my links in the video info where US intelligence officials sent a letter to President Obama warning him that the intel points to the rebels being behind the alleged chemical attack on August 21st. Please use the YouTube tools below to share this video with everyone you can. Let's hold their feet to the fire and say, here's a peaceful resolution to this crisis that you've created, President Obama. And keep in mind, tell everyone that we already have been through the dishonesty, not only with Iraq, but with Libya, where President Obama had the audacity to claim that Libya wasn't even hostilities, and therefore he had the right to use our military against Libya. They're not going to get away with it, not if we work together. Please use the tools below to share this link. Ask other websites to embed this video on their site. Because it's not only that the U.S. is trying to back out of the Kerry suggestion of a peaceful resolution, it's that there's a pattern of deception and fraud in order to get us into war after war. And the U.S. media is our enemy because they won't point out basic facts.